Like, what's up, danger?
What's happening, y'all? It's 2’s. Y'all already know what it is. Back with another YouTube video. Oh, Spider-Man 2. Quite a journey we've had with this game over the past 6 months or so. Now, before we get into this video, because I know new viewers, people who haven't watched my channel are gonna make assumptions and they gonna jump to the comments. I really like this game. I really like Spider-Man 2. It's probably one of the best superhero game stories I've ever played. If you didn't tell from my occasional streams roasting people who trash this game in bad faith. Now, is it a perfect game though? Nah. Recently, I realized that I've actually yet to make a video criticizing this game's story. Here's the thing. I don't even think I really had many issues with the story other than what we're about to talk about. Be honest, I'm surprised I haven't seen a lot more videos talking about this. This was really something that stuck out for me. And I was talking with other people about it. They're like, huh, actually, you know what? You make a point. That really didn't make much sense. Anyways, let's get into it. So the biggest issue with this game's story for me is how they handled Norman's hatred for the Spider-Man at the end of the game. I think it made absolutely no fucking sense whatsoever. And I think there's ways they could have done it better.
Please. Save my boy. Harry.
Pulse is weak. We gotta move.
What have you done? What have you done to him? I'm so sorry.
Wait, what? I know I wasn't the only one confused when this went down. First off, why the hell is Norman upset at Spider-Man? He knew and saw Harry as a fucking 25-foot monster and asked Spider-Man to save him. Like, literally. Have Spider-Man, who brought Harry to the ambulance alive, without the symbiote, exactly what Norman asked him to do after him and his troops failed to do it.
Non-lethal! Just get it off of him! Fire everything!
And he's upset? That just didn't really make any real sense to me. Obviously, really, they needed a reason for Norman to hate Spider-Man, you know, in the next game because he has to become Goblin, obviously. I also feel like that's a reason why a lot of folks are kind of just ignoring it and writing it off. It's just like, well, you know, we're getting Goblin, so, you know, they need a reason to hate him, but at least, you know, we're getting Goblin, yay! Yeah, but that still doesn't change how forced it was. See people defending this by saying it was convenient to be upset at Spider-Man because he's a grieving father and he was lashing out. Here's the thing, this would make sense. Harry died at the end of the game, but he's not dead. He's alive. At least if he died, then Norman would actually have a reason to lash out at Spider-Man, even if it's not necessarily logical. He wanted Spider-Man to save his son, and he didn't. So now Norman's grieving, and it's just convenient to blame him because in his head, he was supposed to save him. That would have made more sense, but that's not what happened. Also hear another defense of this saying that this is Norman refusing to take accountability. For one, this doesn't make sense because he took accountability for the whole situation earlier in the game.
Osborn, are you okay?
I'm worried about Harry. And I have no one else to talk to. He's, not himself right now. And it's all my fault.
It's mine too. Harry told me about his treatment. I knew something was off, but I was just happy he was back.
I should have told him that more.
You still can. I'll let you know if I hear from him, Mr. Osborn.
Like, Y'all see what the issue is and how inconsistent this writing is, right? Like, he literally took responsibility for the situation, and then at the end of the game, when he got it off of Harry, he's alive, and he just randomly just decides to blame Spider-Man for no reason. Like, what? I also feel like the original plan was to kill Harry, but maybe they didn't want to repeat a similar ending to the first one, because, you know, he just lost Aunt May, so it's like, you know, he's still kind of healing from that. It would just kind of be overkill to have Harry die too. You know what? I can actually kind of understand that, to be fair. A lot of people are speculating that Norman's gonna use the G serum to, like, he wants to use it to save Harry. He's gonna experiment on himself first, and that's gonna completely shatter him, kind of like in the Raimi films, what they did with that. Honestly, if they had just did that, and that's what caused him to turn into the Goblin, that would have been fine. The whole "I hate the Spider-Man for no reason" part, that could have just been taken out, to be honest. Even in the Raimi films too, the reason Harry hates Spider-Man at first thought that Spider-Man killed his father.
What have you done? What have you done?
For one, he didn't see the fight, Spider-Man and Goblin, so he doesn't know that Norman got trying to finesse Spider-Man. He brought Norman's body into his building and just left it there. Didn't explain anything, just Norman's dead, you know, just left it there. So obviously Harry would kind of come to the conclusion that, okay, you killed him. Obviously Peter couldn't tell Harry the full story because that would involve revealing his secret identity to Harry. Here's the thing, if they wanted Norman to hate the Spider-Man without killing off Harry, and they wanted to make it work, they could have just had Norman blame Spider-Man for corrupting the symbiotes. Hang on, did Norman even know that Spider-Man was using the symbiote after Harry lost it? And it was on the newspaper and the podcast and everything, so it's like, wait, yeah, why wouldn't he know? Hold up, why didn't the game explore this concept more? There are even points throughout the game that show Spider-Man not wanting to give up the symbiote.
We need to call Oscorp. We need to destroy it.
Destroy us?
Black Suit Spider-Man could have had an encounter with Norman. Norman pleads to Spider-Man, hey, please give me the symbiote back. And, you know, Peter, being the dick that he is, he says no. There's some really fucked up shit to Norman, probably. And then that would pretty much fester his hate for Spider-Man even more. It's just like there are so many ways they could have done this better. The last half of the game was kind of rushed by Sony or whatever. I don't know, maybe there was supposed to be more context, but those scenes were cut out. Maybe they thought there was enough for people to be okay with it. I don't know. Even for the post-credit scene.
Spider-Man. You know who they are, don't you?
Why?
They ruined my son.
No, they didn't. Because first off, using the symbiote on Harry was his idea to begin with. Not to mention, he was dying before the symbiote anyway. So it's just like, what? Yes, he's selfish. Yes, he's narcissistic. I feel like the writing for Norman at the end of the game, it doesn't even really like come across as, you know, oh, I could see, you know, obviously he's not right, but I see where he's coming from. He just comes across as dumb. This just comes across as lazy writing, to be honest with you. One of the weaker parts of the game, definitely, to be honest. I said, y'all, I like the game. I do. I really like the game. I feel like most of the game was beautifully written, like up until that part. Up until that part where Norman became Goblin. It's just like, god damn it. Y'all almost had it, man. Y'all almost had it. Again, I do think this is something that can still be fixed. Maybe in like a future situation, I don't know. But for me, Norman's hatred for the Spider-Man just came out of left field. Again, I like the game. It is okay to criticize media that you enjoy, okay? Obviously, y'all see me, I'm not a blatant hater, but even I had problems with the story. But if they at least do Green Goblin right in the third game, I won't complain. It's just the way that things played out at the end of Spider-Man 2 just didn't make sense. If y'all agree, maybe y'all disagree, let me know what y'all think. Anyways, that's gonna be it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. Disagree, maybe Norman was a bit rushed, or y'all disagree. Hey, you know, Norman's transformation was completely fine. Hey, It's okay. It's whatever. Interested to see what the comments are looking like. I'm real interested. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.